My name is Bill Whitehurst. The name of my company is Whitehurst Mergers and Acquisitions. I'm headquartered in Dallas, Texas. The key activity or core activity of my business is in representing business owners and selling their companies. Key title of this, main title of this video is, which business would you buy? The subtitle would be, how does the business owner prepare their company for sale for maximum value? One, which business would you buy? On one hand, a business owner is telling a prospective buyer, several years ago I decided I was getting ready to sell my company. I delegated the key things that I did in the business to my key subordinates. I no longer have contact with my customers. I have a sales manager, salesman that do that. I no longer am involved in the bidding process or setting prices. I have someone who can do that. I don't get involved in purchasing merchandise. I have a key employee that does that. That's one business. Across the street, there's the business in the same industry. And that seller is telling a prospective buyer, well, I still get to the business every morning at 7 o'clock. I get my sales routes, or I get my techs ready for all of their key routes. In the course of the day, I'm involved in flooring questions for my technician or for my salesman on how to do this or how to do that, key elements of the business. Then later in the afternoon, I'm ordering inventory that we sold that day. And then late in the evening, I'm getting everybody back into the company, getting them ready for the next day. And on Saturday mornings, I get there at 8 a.m. to get ready for the next week. In one business, the business owner has distanced himself from the organization where he has actually delegated and has the infrastructure in place, the key employees handling the key aspects of what makes that business successful. On the other side of the street, same type of company, that business owner still there 12 hours, 10 hours a day, and really is not selling a company, is selling a job. If you were a buyer, which business would you buy? Looking at a company from the perspective of financials, one business has very clean financials. A business owner can take a tax return from each of the last 3 years and look on the first 2 pages of that tax return and really determine very clearly and concisely what that business owner is making in that business. 4 or 5 line items, the owner's discretionary cash flow is clean and it's right there to see. In another business, there has to be hours of explanation where this piece of compensation, owner compensation, was buried in this line item, and the profit and loss are buried in the general ledger. And in the tax return, there's no real good line item that shows what the owner is making. You've got to get a forensic account to almost determine exactly what the owner is making out of the business. The financials and the returns are not clean at all. Which business would you buy? Another scenario, 2 companies. One company, the key employee, been there for 30 years, is 65, he's ready to retire, he's retiring next month. That key employee has been the owner's backup right-hand man for the last 30 years. There's nobody selected to take over that manager's place. Under that person, you go down 500 degrees and there are a bunch of workers with no other key employees. Another small business, key manager retired last year. A new employee has been brought up to assume the key manager's positions and roles, and the owner has taken the last year, 18 months, getting that key employee up to speed, and is now that employee is the right-hand man. There's infrastructure in place. One business lost its key employee. There are no replacements in sight. The other business, key employee left, but it's been replaced, a new employee has been trained and adequately handles the job. Which company would you buy? There are the right times and the wrong times to sell a company. Key elements have to be in place, and the owner has to have done several things prior to the sale to get that business ready. My name is Bill Whitehurst, Whitehurst Mergers and Acquisitions, Dallas, Texas.